So what we're going to start with is pudding. No, don't turn away saying that's not for me. I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan. I can't do that milk stuff, that egg stuff. What we're going to do right here is we're going to make pudding using no milk, no eggs. So if you take a look, what we've got here is cornstarch, almond milk, salt, coffee powder, sugar, vanilla, more almond milk. So first thing we're going to do, you take a small bowl and put in our almond milk. That's a quarter cup. And I'm going to grab a chopstick and I'm going to toss in the 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is cold milk, by the way. You don't want to be doing this with warm milk because cornstarch has a chemical reaction when it heats up. And we don't want that to happen yet. So I'm just going to stir this up until all of the cornstarch dissolves in the almond milk. So ideally what we don't want is lumps, because that's going to make a lumpy pudding, and nobody wants a lumpy pudding. We want this all to be nice and smooth. It will all dissolve in there. I know it seems like a high ratio, but just persevere. It will all dissolve in there. You see we got a little bit of lump still at the bottom. Give it a little bit more stir. Want that all combined. Okay. It's looking pretty good. And we'll just set that aside until we need it, which will be soon. Next, I'm going to grab another small bowl. By the way, these are the bowls I'm going to put the pudding in, and I'll clean them after we combine everything. But it's just easier to do this in small steps. So we're going to put in here, that's 1/3 cup of sugar. If you find it too sweet, lower the sugar a bit. If you find it not sweet enough, add a little more sugar. It's, other than the cornstarch milk ratio, it's pretty, you know, forgiving. And there's a little bit of salt in there as well. And we're going to add in some espresso powder. Now you don't have to use espresso powder. I'm making a coffee flavored pudding. You can make whatever flavor you want. At this point, you could go pop down Bake Supply and get, some cherry extract, some almond extract, some mint extract, lemon extract, whatever flavor pudding you think would be good. This would be the time to put it. If you get a liquid extract though, don't add it to this. Don't add it to the sugar thing. We'll add it to the almond milk there. Don't put it in the dry ingredient. That's not going to help anybody. And I'm going to grab another. I'm using chopsticks. You use a spoon, use a fork, whatever you have handy. Chopsticks were handy. And we're going to just mix this up. So there we go, those two. Now, we're going to take 1 3/4 cups of almond milk, soy milk, and we're going to turn that to not maximum, but like a medium high. So we want to heat this up to around 95 degrees or so. We don't want this to come to a boil. Every once in a while, just give your cornstarch slurry a little bit of a stir, because it will start to separate out when it's cold like this. So we also have here a bit of vanilla. I'm going to dump that in right now. We're just going to bring that up to a, not quite to a boil, not even a simmer, but maybe just before the bubbles start. If you want to be accurate, you can grab a kitchen thermometer and check the temperature. Just take a check of that right now. Yeah, it's still fairly cool in there. But I expect when you do it, you won't have so much technology strapped to yourself. Or maybe you will. You do you. Give this a stir once in a while, just in case. Okay, while we're waiting for that to get up to temperature, I'm going to start adding in our sugar and flavorings. It's about 1/3 at a time. Stir it up so that all dissolves in. A little tip for telling whether everything is dissolved or not. If you let your spoon, the back of your spoon, run on the bottom of the pot, you will feel the sort of crunchiness of any granules if the sugar hasn't quite dissolved yet. It should dissolve fairly readily because we're not using a lot of sugar. Let's check the temperature on that. It should be good. Should be good to go. 86, getting close to boiling temperature. So just once again, I'm going to give a little swish around of the slurry, and while stirring it, I'm just going to pour that right in there. Okay, then we're going to stir this, and now you're going to want to stir constantly because this reaction is going to happen. And what's going to happen is it's going to get thick, like a really thick sauce, fairly quickly. You'll feel it and you'll see it. See, that's already thickening up. I can feel it. See how much thicker that is? And at that point, we're going to take it off the heat and pour it into our... I'm going to pour it into our bowls. If I learned to speak English, that would be great. So you're going to pour... In my case, I have 3 bowls. We're going to pour about 1/3 of it into each one. So just like so. That's all. And now we're going to leave that to cool a little bit. And once it's cooled, we're going to put it in the fridge and leave it best off overnight. So what we're going to do is I'll come back tomorrow, once this cooled down, in regular clothes, and we'll take a taste of the result. And welcome back to the kitchen. So as I said, it's the next day. Here we are with the pudding. It's been in the fridge overnight. You can see it's firmed up. So again, you can use milk or you can substitute with almond milk. And you can change different flavoring rather than the coffee. You could put a different extract of some sort in there. And you can lower the sugar, raise the sugar, how it goes for you. But the big thing is, the fact is that we've got pudding. Actual pudding. So good. No milk. And I tell you right now, I cannot tell that there's no milk in this. It just tastes like pudding.